Page 37, Ave Verum Corpus. Latin, I don't speak Latin. This is from a motet by Mozart. Adagio, slow. Finally, we get a slow piece. Yay. Us old folks like slow pieces. This is in the key of D major, 2 sharps. Let's go through this carefully. Right hand. Rest. Rest. Now they're saying a 1 on the F sharp. Yeah. I'm going to go a 2 on the F sharp. This is in the second measure. The second F sharp. There's a 2 and then a 1 and then a 2-3 on the half note. Just so I don't have to put a thumb on that. I mean, you can put a thumb on that if you want. There's nothing wrong with it. I just find that with bigger fingers it's a bit awkward. So a way to avoid that, putting a thumb on that F sharp, is simply do a 2-1 and then the last measure is 2-3 and then you go on. Now in the second line, first measure, you have a whole note. You have to hold that E down as you're playing those notes, and the same thing in the next measure. Hold the E down, it's a whole note. And then in the last measure, I recommend a 2-4, a 1-3, just like that. Works for me, why not? And then you can do a 1-2, or however you want to finger that one is up to you. The pedal's going to connect the notes, so it's at the top of page 38. Right hand, 2, second measure. What all this yucky stuff? We got and the first chord is a D, F natural, B, and then we have a C sharp. It's in the key signature. Now an F sharp and an A. So it's a here to here. Okay, not a lot of help there, it's just this. But for the last note, that A by itself, I recommend third finger, not second. Third finger is real close, and it's more comfortable to go to the octave, for me, using third finger than second. I can connect that. And then notice the top D on the last measure, that's tied to the quarter note D in the next measure. Hold that down. The bottom D isn't tied. You're going to change that. Then in the second line, first measure, you're going to play the E while holding down the D. Now you're going to play the C sharp while holding down the E. It's 2 different voices and they're overlapping. So starting with the last measure, the first line, it's here, and then going on, it's here. At the end of the second line, the last measure, that A is tied. Hold it down for the rest of the measure and just play the E. You're just adding the E to it is all. And both of those are then tied to the first note of the next measure. And this is fun, a lot of tying going on here, dude. And then I recommend third finger on the D for the third line down. And then a 1-2-4. And then a 1-5. Weird. You can pencil in these things. And then on the next measure, a 2 on the half note. I don't want to use thumb again here. And then 4-2 or 4-3. And then you can do a 1. They're saying a 1-2. I don't like that because the next note's a C sharp, clear down here. Yeah. So in the second measure of the third line there, it's a 2. Then in the half note in the last measure, I recommend a fourth finger. You gotta be able to do that, it's no big deal. But now you're in position to reach that C sharp. Fourth line down, this thing, second measure. I don't know if this is an error or not. Look at the second measure. The way it's written, you have the C sharp EA, then you're going to a C sharp E B flat. Notes are fine, but they're showing the C sharp is tied, but not the E. Which means you'd play the E again when you play the B flat. what's written. I don't know if it's right or not. I'd have to go back and look at the manuscript. Or typically what they do is they tie both bottom notes, the C sharp and the E, and you just play the top note. Like that. But that's not what they've got there. So we'll play the E again. And then going on, hold the E down in the last measure. It's a whole note. The next measure. Last measure of the page, the C sharp is a whole note. Hold it down. Good luck with that one. Top of page 39. Here, I'm recommending a 1-4, not a 1-3, because I need a 1-3 on the next one. For the F natural. And because this is awkward. If I use their fingering here, it's I find that a little awkward. So I'm recommending it's a 1-4 on the half note, and then a 1-3, and then a 1-4 on the last one. Just scrunch up here, and then I can use a 2-3 on the next one. So it looks like that. And the last measure of the first line, I recommend a 1-4, 2-3, and then a 1. Don't forget these phrasing. Third line down, second measure. It's a go up to the thumb on that one. You're lifting up and moving. Hold the D down. It's a whole note tied to a half note, so we got a ways to go here. Hold it down, play the F sharp second finger, and the G. Now we can go on. Fourth line down, second measure. It's 1-3. I recommend for the A, D, you do a 2-5. So it's a 1-3. Here, and then a 1, and then for the next measure a 4 on the F sharp, 2-3, and then a 1. Last two measures, you got half notes, hold it down. Again, hold that half note down, and then yeah, a little tricky, but it's kind of fun if you like working your fingers around and doing things. This is great. This kind of music, and Bach music will do this for you, and Scarlatti too. It's just, left hand, for the most part, is going to be quiet. It just helps out with the melody occasionally, like at the beginning, at the first couple of measures. It's all melody here. And now the left hand is going to be soft. Third line down, second measure, left hand. I recommend a 4-1 on the D, A. So you can do a 5-1. I mean, you can use 5 on all of it. It's just typically, we'd save the fifth finger when we have this kind of pattern. Use the fifth finger on the C sharp. Then at the bottom, the last line, you're here, and watch the fingering. 3, 2, 1. It's just an extended chord. And then a 2. Top of page 38, it's a whole note. Hold that down while you play the E. So now you got all 3 notes down, and then going on. End of that line, I recommend a 5-2 if you can reach it. And then a 4-1. And then a 4-2. And then they're fine up here. End of that second line, C sharp. Second finger's fine, but it's tied. Hang on to it as you play the F sharp in the next measure. And then they're saying 1-5. It's up to you. This is just plain awkward. The pedal will help, but you almost have to. And then here, at the top of page 39, look out. Yeah, it's a B flat E with 4-1. And then an A, reach up, G sharp. If you can reach it and connect it with the fingers, fine. If not, you just have to move up. The pedal will help you out here, but it's better if you can reach it. Doesn't matter that you're using pedal. You still want to do it with the fingers if you can. Second line, first measure, you have a whole note. Hold it down the whole measure while you're playing these other notes. There. And then if you want to do a 2-4, it works. The problem is the next measure. You're supposed to hold this down, the C sharp, while you play these. Well, if you do that, it has to be a 2-3 on that if you don't want to put the thumb on the C sharp. Because you're going to hold the C sharp down as you play these. And a 3-1 on the BD is fine. Although on the half note, it's better if you do a 2. Because that way you're in position for the notes coming up. Third line down is a 3-1. Play it with a third and substitute the thumb. So you can go on. Look out on the fourth line down. Their fingering is fine. I don't have any improvement. I just want to cover it with you. Starting out with a whole note. It's 5-3. And the next one is the 5-1. And then a 5-1 again. And then a 2-1. 3-1, and for the last note on the line, a thumb. That way you're in position for the next line. And that's all. So you get the two hands separately and then you put them together. Just very slowly and carefully. Get out all the kinks so the fingering is working for you and you got all the rests in and you're holding down all the notes as long as you're supposed to. Then we'll go back and we'll add, say, the phrasing and the dynamics. Can we do both of those at one time? If not, you do them one at a time. At the beginning, it says medium soft, and the phrase goes for the first two measures. So you're going to connect it all, sort of soft. And there's a decrescendo now. So now we're going to go down to soft. So, and this is adagio, slow. Get softer, now saw. And we're talking about the melody is the top note in the right hand. Keep soft. Yeah, third line, you're going to get a little louder and a little softer. Here, and then off. Soft, 2, 3. You stay soft, and then we're talking about the top note in the right hand. Everything else has to be really soft. On top of page 38, again, starts out soft, and we're going to crescendo up for the couple of measures up to a medium loud. So plan it out. Don't get medium loud too soon. A little louder. There, you're medium loud. And second line, second measure, you come back down. Now you're going to get third line, get a little louder. Fourth line, you're soft. That's the top note of the right hand. Fourth line down in the second measure, you have that swell, that get louder and softer. So we're going to come, here is where we want. So at the beginning of the line, it's softly, a little louder here. Come back down, then crescendo again. Down. These crescendos, and I almost exaggerate them, they're so important, especially when the music is slow and the audience has time to hear every note. You almost have to exaggerate these crescendos and decrescendos so they hear them. At the last line on 38, come back down, you're soft. page 39. You're still soft. Now you're very soft. Second line, you're going to start crescendoing up slowly. Take your time on this. And go ahead and crescendo on up to loud. Now, stay loud, stay loud. And then retardato at the end. This is just one of those real slow pieces. This would be a great interlude or something in background music as you're playing something or something else is going on or whatever. But this would work. So you work out the phrasing and the dynamics and all that, and then you can add the pedal. And I don't have a lot of suggestions on the pedal. We need the pedal to help us connect the notes. This is really more for strings. So yes, it's going to be really connected. A lot of legato pedal. Just so pedal it like they're telling you to pedal it. So the first two measures are not, because we don't want to smear this. And then push the nose down and then the pedal. And the next line I'm going to push the nose down and then release the pedal. But I'm going to push the pedal down right after I play that half note and then change the pedal as they're telling you to here. Top of page 38. Now, third line down on page 38 in the second measure, I tend to pedal it at the end of the second measure with the eighth note. I want to connect the eighth note to the half note. So I tend to pedal that eighth note there. So I can connect it, but that's an interpretive thing. It's up to you. So that third line is here. So let's go through this really super slow and do a play with me on it and just double check the notes and the rhythms. I'll try and pedal it like they're showing as best I can. We'll see. My pedaling style's a little different and sometimes old habits take over, but I'll try and do it the way it's written. Now I'm going to play page 37 and we're going to stop and turn the page and I'll count us in again and then we'll do pages 38 and 39. That's how I'm going to do it. If you're playing for somebody, you have to turn the page. But it's not so bad here because it's slow and you got pedal. So after you play the notes at the bottom of the page with the pedal down, reach up with either hand, it doesn't matter, and just turn the page because you should have time. It's slow enough. So I'm going to give 4 counts and we're going to go really slow. This is a slow piece anyway. So the right hand is here, left hand's here, and foot's on the pedal. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2. 2, 2. Stop and turn the page. Your hands where they go. 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Hold, 2, 3, 4.